Hello, it's an amazing feeling to be back with Let's Talk Sports. Remember that we're gonna be on YouTube every Monday talking about the most important topics in the world of sports. Also, we are gonna announce every episode on the Step Univision Twitter platform. It's an amazing feeling because we used to do this last semester, so we want to keep this project going. Today, we're gonna talk about the 2026 World Cup, the cities that are going to host this World Cup, that is going to be amazing because it's going to be the first World Cup that three nations are going to host. So it's going to be an amazing competition. We have today, I'm not alone because I have with me Paola Camarota that is going to be talking about this opinion. How are you, Paola?
I'm super excited to be here. This is going to be my first show, my first Let's Talk Sports show. So I'm super pumped. I love soccer. So for the World Cup to be here in the United States, it's just surreal to me. Thank you.
I know it's an amazing topic, and I absolutely welcome you to the show, and you're gonna be amazing. I know it. We also have Roberto Rios that is gonna be with us today. So, how are you, Roberto? Welcome.
Hello, Christian. Hello, Paola, and hello, everybody. It feels just fine to be part of the team, talking about soccer and sports in general, talking about something that you love, and it's an honor to be here. Let's do it.
That's the vibe that I like, Roberto. That's the vibe that this topic can bring because we know soccer that is amazing around the world. So I want to start with this context. This is gonna be a different World Cup. 48 teams are gonna play in it. As I said, three nations are gonna host: United States, Canada, and Mexico. Roberto, I want to start with you. What do you think this next World Cup is gonna represent?
Well, as you said, it's going to be the first World Cup that is going to be hosted by the three nations. That's just the main point of it. It's going to have 11 cities from the U.S. It's going to be two from Canada and three from Mexico. I remember. I mean, this cup is quite curious because it's going to have some classic stadiums, let's say, and some new ones. For example, now the Estadio Azteca for Mexico is going to be the first stadium to be hosting three different World Cups. While you also have stadium like the SoFi Stadium, which is quite new, and it might be, I don't know if the final, but it's for sure going to have one of the most important games of the cup.
No, I know what you said because I feel the contrast because this is not going to be the first World Cup that the United States or Mexico are going to host. Because remember that we used to have the 1994 World Cup that was played in the United States and also the Women's World Cup that was played here in the United States in 1999 and in 2003. Paola, I wanted to ask you, what do you think is going to be the impact of this World Cup after 30 years of the first one that was played in the United States?
I think this World Cup is just going to be like all over the top with it just being like a new addition to the company. I mean, it's gonna be three countries, which is something new, and I think that 11 cities in the United States are gonna be over the top every month, every game, especially Miami. We know how the party of Miami is, and we just had the Formula One here, and it was just one of the biggest sports events in the world. We have the Super Bowl. It was here, and I think it's going to contribute a lot to the local business. It's going to help the local businesses in all the cities, and it's just going to be like a big party every day.
So, Paola, thank you because you mentioned Miami. We are live on air from the city of Miami. I was watching a video about when the Miami commissioners, a lot of people was there in the watch party when it happened. So, what does it mean for you to be living in Miami? Because we know in 1994 they didn't make the cut. So, what importance does it have for you being in Miami that this World Cup that Miami can have up to 6 games in this city and maybe the final? What do you think about that as a person that lives in the city?
Yeah, I saw the video you talked about yesterday. He was in a little restaurant and he just screamed when the city name came on, and I was just so excited as him. I've been a soccer fan since I was little, and I used to live in Venezuela, so we don't get a lot of like the World Cup thing over there. It's just like not a thing, and to be able to have a World Cup in your city where you live, it's like an amazing experience. I would never have like imagined that I was going to be able to go to a game, and now I can because it's 30 minutes away from my house, so it's going to be incredible.
We were talking about off camera that it was our dream. As a soccer fans, this is a dream. So Roberto, I wanted to ask you, what would you say to people outside from the United States or people not from Miami? What can represent for them this experience coming to this city? What it has, the cultural diversity that we live in it. So what do you think you can bring? I want you to sell me Miami for this World Cup.
That won't be hard because Miami is a great city. Whatever you do, whatever you like, Miami is a great city for it. Miami is a great city because it has so many people from different countries, and it's not, they have just multiple Latino people. No, it's not just that. It's that you have a lot of these people coming from many different countries. So there's a huge variety of cultures right there. And it's not only people, it's also food. So whatever you like, Miami's a big city for that. And besides the dream for other people to be able to come to Miami or any other city in the US or Canada or Mexico, it's just a great chance to be in a different country, a different culture, and have the experience to be inside a game of a World Cup.
So talking about mostly right now, I want to talk about what is going to be for the US. Like this World Cup, I used to hear since I was born that soccer is not a big thing in the United States. But right now, with the national team, the men's and women's national team, I think the sport is growing. So I was listening to some commentaries that people were saying that soccer might be in 2026 the first sport of the United States. Do you guys think, Roberto, do you think this is possible or this some kind of dream?
Well, I have my doubts, and not because there is not a good perception of soccer. That no, there is a very good perception of soccer, and there's been quite evolution since the last 20 years, I would say. Also, you're seeing many American players in the map. You also have, let's say, Pulisic in Chelsea. You have Sergio Dest playing for Barcelona, Mackenzie playing for Juventus. So you start to see American players playing for top soccer clubs in Europe, and that talks about the interest of the sport in America. And whenever you talk about taking an event so big as the World Cup, you can say, okay, there's an increase in the culture for soccer in the US. So I'm sure that the culture has been growing tremendously, but I don't know if it's still going to be the first sport for the country.
Yes, I have my doubts too, but that's why I wanted to ask Paola. This is something that people always put in debate, Super Bowl and the World Cup. How will you say, or you will debate to some people that says that the Super Bowl is the biggest event in the world, in contrast to people that say that the World Cup is the biggest event in the world? What will you say to them?
I just think that the Super Bowl it's a little bit more local, more national, because it's just team from the US, and we have to be honest, and American football is not as popular as soccer in other countries. I think soccer is just a worldwide sports, and the World Cup is just the influence of that. It just brings people from all over the world. In this case, it's gonna be 48 countries. So it just brings that many audiences. It brings many cultures together, and I think it's just a top thing. I don't think the Super Bowl compares to what the World Cup can be.
I know it's an amazing feeling. And the thing about only being 4 years, every 4 years, I think it makes it even bigger of an event. Not saying that the Super Bowl is not, but always has been that debate. That's why I wanted to bring it up. So I wanted to ask you guys, this is more of a curious question. We are just guessing, but we don't know which stadium is going to be, the finals is going to be host. Every game of this World Cup is important, but the final, It's gonna be the most important match, of course, of this competition. I wanted to know your opinion, starting with Paola. What stadium do you think is gonna host the final?
Well, hopefully it's gonna be here in Miami, so we can go. But I mean, I would think Los Angeles. That's like the main city that people think the United States is, and they just did the SoFi Stadium, which is pretty new. I think it's the newest stadium out of them all, and I think it's gonna be, if they do it there, they have so much capacity, and they have so much to offer for a World Cup final.
No, I have to agree with you because we have the experience that we saw the Super Bowl there, and it was an amazing event. Like everything that came together for the Super Bowl, it was amazing, and the SoFi Stadium was a really good host for the last Super Bowl. Roberto, what is your opinion about the topic?
Yeah, no doubt. Los Angeles is a great city for that. Los Angeles has shown to be able to hold these types of events when they did it back in 1994 with the final of the World Cup, and now, as you guys mentioned, the Super Bowl. So the SoFi Stadium, I think it's just has the conditions, and the city has the best conditions to host an event of this type. The stadium is quite new. I think I'm sure it's one of the most expensive stadiums in the whole world, and the capacity that it has, the city itself is just amazing. So yeah, I do think that Los Angeles is very well positioned to hold the final. Now, for the first match, now I'm gonna ask the question. I would say I would start somewhere different, and I would say I wouldn't start the event in the US. This time, I would start with the Estadio Azteca in Mexico. That's just my opinion.
I like it. I like it because of the. I think for the first match, it's not only the start; it's the significance that it has. You know, I was watching the other day what it meant in the 2010 World Cup, the first goal of Shabalala. People that watched that World Cup remember that. So I think the significance of that first game and being on the Estadio Azteca for all the history that it has, I think it's gonna take the event even it's gonna put the event in a bigger place. Paola, what stadium do you think is gonna be the host for the first match?
I have to agree with both of you. I like what Roberto said, the Estadio Azteca. It has a big history. I mean, they hosted the 1970 World Cup there. So, I mean, they have like a history of hosting the greatest games. And I think Mexico can put up a really good show.
Amazing, amazing. Guys, I think everything is said. People, the cities still don't know what the amount of games that is going to be played in them. It's going to be next year, but it's going to be 80 games. It's huge. It's going to be amazing. I know it. I can feel it. And we were talking off camera about what it's going to represent. And I think we did that. We showed that to our audience in today's episode. So yeah, I want to say to the audience, what do you think about this World Cup? Leave it in the comments and also interact with us. Put all of your opinions that we're going to be interacting with you guys and thinking about that. Thank you, Roberto. Thank you, Paola, for the opportunity, for being here and also sharing your opinions. What do you guys think about your first episode in Let's Talk Sports?
Thank you, Christian. It was just amazing. I think this is a really cool thing that we get to do every week, and just to share and talk about sports, which is what we like. It's an amazing experience.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's great. It feels great to be here talking about something that you love and with people that also know about the topic. It's just a very cool experience.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for your time. And remember, we're going to be here next Monday with a new topic, with new opinions, and we're going to have new content. So amazing to be here, amazing to be back, and see you next time. Thank you.